Good morning, students. Today we all will start with third law of motion. The first two laws of motion, which you all have studied till now, tell us how an applied force changes the motion and provide us with a method of determining the force. The third law of motion, which we will be studying now, states that when one object exerts a force on another object, the second object instantaneously exerts a force back on the first. Okay? Means to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Now these two forces which act on each other, they are opposing forces. They are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. At the same time, we call these two forces as action and reaction forces. Okay, children? These forces can act on different objects and never on the same object. Even though, always remember that even though the action and reaction forces are always equal in magnitude, these forces may not produce accelerations of equal magnitude. I will tell you an example. Let us, I will give an example like when a player, you all have played football. So when you kick a football or when a player kicks a football, the football moves forward, isn't it? And the foot of the player moves backward. The force with which the football is kicked by the foot of the player is known as action, and due to this action force, the football moves forward. Okay? So, on the other hand, the force exerted by the football on the foot of the player is known as reaction. Okay? Due to this reaction force, the foot of the player moves backward. So what do we find? That action and reaction forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Now the acceleration, I told you that these forces act on different objects. Okay. So they are acting on different objects, action force on the football and the reaction force on the foot of the footballer. Then I told you one more thing, that even though the action and reaction forces are equal in magnitude, these forces may not produce accelerations of equal magnitudes. So what do we find? That due to the action force of the foot of the footballer or the player, the ball moves towards the acceleration of football is much more than the acceleration of the foot of the ball. Why? Because mass of football is much less than that of the mass of the player. Okay, so why this happens? This is because each force acts on a different object that may have a different mass. Okay, so always remember that action and reaction forces always act on different objects. Okay, so what is Newton's third law of motion? To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. I will give you certain examples to understand the Newton's third law of motion. Suppose, now how do you walk? When a person walks on the ground, what he does, he pushes the ground with his foot in the backward direction by pressing the ground. So when he presses the ground in the backward direction, this push is known as action. Now that person has done the action, or you have done the action when you walk. Now what is the reaction of the ground on your foot? According to Newton's third law of motion, an equal and opposite reaction will act on the foot of the person by the ground. So this reaction of the ground on the person pushes him forward. As a result, a person is able to walk in the forward direction. Another example I will tell you is that of a boatman. You all have seen a boatman pushing the river, when he pushes the river bank with a bamboo pole to take his boat into the river. Have you ever seen, kabhi dekhe ho kabhi, that if a person wants to, if the boatman, if he wants to take his boat to the river, jab wo kinare pe rehta and he wants it to take his boat to the river, what he does, he pushes the river bank with a bamboo pole, and the river bank, मतलब वो पीछे की तरफ ढकेलता है with that bamboo. Okay, and as a result that river bank offers an equal and opposite reaction and pushes the boat in the forward direction. Another example, very simple example, is when we swim. What happens when we swim? We or when a person swims, what he does, he always pushes the water in the backward direction. As a result, this is the action of the person on the water. As a result, what is the reaction of the water on the person? The water pushes the person in the forward direction. This is reaction. So this is known as Newton's third law of motion. Then one more example I will give you. When a fireman, you all have seen a fireman holding the hose pipe to extinguish the fire. Okay, to extinguish the fire, you have seen the when a fire brigade comes, the person holds the pipe. That pipe is known as hose pipe. These are very thick pipes. Now what have you ever seen that he struggles to hold that hose pipe to throw a stream of water on fire to extinguish it? Why? Because the stream of water rushing through the hose pipe in the forward direction with a large speed exerts a large force on the hose pipe in the backward direction. The force exerted on the hose pipe in the backward direction is known as the reaction force. Now, another topic which we all are going to study now is conservation of momentum. Now, what is momentum? You all know that is the product of mass and velocity. What is the law of conservation of momentum? It states that the total momentum of a system or an object remains constant if no net external unbalanced force acts on the system. Now let us understand what it wants to say. Suppose that there is a moving ball. Okay, there are two balls. One is stationary, one is at rest, and the other is moving. Okay, now let the moving ball collide with the stationary ball lying on the ground. What will happen when they collide? You will observe that the moving ball will slow down slowly. Okay, after some time the moving ball will slow down, and it may happen that it may come to rest after some time. Why? Because its velocity decreases after colliding with the stationary ball. On the other hand, the stationary ball begins to move, okay, when it collides with the moving ball. जब जो स्टेशनरी बॉल है वो मूव करना शुरू कर देता है when it collides with when the moving ball goes and collide with it. Okay, that is its velocity increases. Now we know that momentum of a body is mass into velocity. Therefore, momentum of moving ball decreases, isn't it, after collision, because its velocity is decreasing, and the momentum of the stationary ball increases after collision. Thus, we find that when two balls collide with each other, then moving ball loses momentum and the stationary ball gains momentum. But you will find that the loss of momentum of one ball is equal to the gain of momentum of other ball. So the total momentum of these colliding balls before and after the collision remains the same. This is the law of conservation of momentum. Now we will be doing the proof of the law of conservation of momentum. For this, we have taken two balls A and B of mass m1 and m2. Okay, let the initial velocity be u1 and u2. So, and let u1 be greater than u2, that is the velocity of ball A be greater than velocity of ball B. Now when they starts moving, they are moving with velocity u1 and u2, and before collision their position is like this. But because u1 is greater than u2, means A is moving faster than B, so after some time they will collide against each other. Okay, so during collision what will happen? A will exert a force F on body B. Now according to Newton's third law of motion, what will happen? Equal and opposite force will also act on body A. Okay, so body B will also exert force on body A in opposite direction. So this force will be minus F. Now let V1 and V2 be the final velocity after collision, means after collision their velocity changes. One body will gain momentum, other will lose momentum. So let V1 be the velocity of body A and V2 be the velocity of body B after collision. Now we know that what is momentum of a body? M into V. So initial momentum of body A is equal to m1 into u1. Initial momentum of body B equals to m2 into u2. Final momentum of body A equals to m1 v1. Final momentum of body B equals to m2 v2. So total momentum of system before collision will be equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2, isn't it? And total momentum of the system after collision will be again the final momentum of body A and body B, that is m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Now what is rate of change of momentum? That is change in momentum by time taken. Okay, so m1 v1, change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum. Okay, so that is m1 v1 minus m1 u1 by t. Now according to Newton's second law of motion, force acting on body A equals to rate of change of momentum of body A. So F is equal to m1 v1 because what is the force acting on body A? That is F. So F equals to m1 v1 minus m1 u1 by t. Similarly, the rate of change of momentum of body B will be m2 v2 minus m2 u2 by t. Now, according to Newton's second law of motion, force acting on body B equals to rate of change of momentum of body B, that is minus F equals to m2 v2 minus m2 u2 by t, or F equals to minus into m2 v2 minus m2 u2 by t. Now when we equate the two equations 1 and 2, it is also F, this is also F. So when we equate it, we will get it as m1 v1 minus m1 u1 by t equals to minus m2 v2 minus m2 u2 by t. Tt will get cancelled. Now because it is a negative sign, so there will be a change inside the bracket when we open the bracket. So it becomes m1 v1 minus m1 u1 equals to m2 u2 minus m2 v2. Now we will take this to the right hand side, all the signs will become positive. Negative will become positive, positive will become negative. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So this is the total momentum before collision, this is the total momentum after collision. So this is the law of conservation of momentum. So children, write down this in your math, in your physics copy, and understand, practice this. Thank you.